So we're going to start in.
Yeah, after we cut all that, just that part out.
No, I'm not cutting that out.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
It's good for the kids.
Go kid, go kid, go kid, do the crap with me. Oh, go kid, go kid, go kid, do the steak with me. Oh, go kid, go kid.
All right. Hey guys, how's it going? It's been a while since we've made one of our videos. We want to get on track with making these for the kids and for you guys too. But just a good time for us to like talk about some things that maybe the kids may have issues with in the future, or maybe you guys have dealt with some situations before. Today we're going to be talking about babies and where they come from. So we'll touch on it's a couple topics that we want to cover as far as like kids are concerned. About marriage and kids, first time being pregnant, some of the paranoia that goes around with pregnancies. We're going to talk about the miscarriage that we had, but obviously more Courtney had.
We.
Okay, good. Then just the paranoia with trying to get pregnant a second time, trying to get pregnant, giving birth, some of the first few months of being a parent to a baby. We'll talk about some of our struggles, like breastfeeding struggles, and obviously why we don't have more than 2 kids. So, all right. So first thing to talk about is getting married before you have kids. We think that's important, mainly because I think you should have someone who, before you're trying to have kids, like you want to make sure that that person's committed to you, because at the end of the day, they're still going to be the most important person in your life, and then, if they commit to you, they're probably, there's more chance they're going to be able to commit to the kids and both you and the kids.
I mean, I would agree. I think it can work both ways, though. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it can work. It's just, I feel like it might be a little easier when you have someone who's committed to you and, you have the same thoughts, goals, values, that kind of thing. So.
And going on with that, the reason, it's important to, maybe, possibly be married. I'm not saying you have to be married, but it's a good idea because that's something you want to discuss beforehand, like what your expectations are as far as having children. That's important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. How you parent, the way that you approach things. I don't know.
Yeah.
Definitely discussions that need to be had.
All right. So now we're gonna talk about us trying to get pregnant for the first time. So right before we got married, Courtney had stopped taking her birth control.
Yeah, we knew we wanted to have kids quickly. We were older when we got married. We knew we wanted to start a family quickly. So yeah.
Yeah, and so we went on a honeymoon, and there was no thoughts about it. Obviously we were doing the things that you would normally do to have babies. I mean, we wanted to have babies, but it wasn't like a thing like that. It was like the forefront of our minds, like, let's go ahead and try to have this baby. We just knew we wanted to have babies, so it wasn't something like we were putting a whole lot of effort into, you think? After the honeymoon, I guess, I don't know, not how much longer after the honeymoon.
Like 2 months, maybe?
2 months, yeah. We did find out that we were pregnant, and that was awesome. Were you excited?
I was excited. I was shocked, but also very excited.
Yeah, I was through the roof excited about having a baby.
Yeah,
that was a long time ago.
Not very far, but yeah, we were excited. Neither of us had ever experienced anything like that, so it was an exciting time. So yeah, we told the world.
So obviously, overjoyed, super excited about having a baby, bringing this life to the world, and but that wasn't meant for us at that time. Unfortunately, we ended up having a miscarriage, and I remember being in the we're going to one of your checkups, and the the nurse had did like the little ultrasound or whatever. And so she was just doing a little searching around thing, and then she wouldn't say anything.
But we didn't know. We've never had kids. I've never been pregnant before, so I just assumed it was normal.
And she leaves the room, and I'm like maintaining my calm because I don't try to freak Courtney out or whatever. And like, they were gone. The nurse was gone forever. I guess she went to get the doctor, and
yeah, they finally came back and just, you know, told us that there was no heartbeat anymore. So I don't know.
I mean, how did you feel at the time?
Shocked, upset. Just kept thinking back, like, what did I do wrong? Because no one ever talks about this, so, you know.
Yeah, I was I was in shock for a long time. I was just like, oh, okay. I didn't know how to react. I didn't know how to really process it. And like you were saying, like it's like taboo to talk about it, you know, like no one ever wants to talk about having kids. No one wants to ever talk about like the trouble it is with having kids. Like no one talks about anything. So there's a lot of uncertainty and not a whole lot of preparation, like on how to deal with things when things do come up. Because the only thing everyone always talks about is the sunny side. Oh, we got pregnant, we had kids. No one talks about the dirty stuff, I guess. But it's not dirty. I think these are things that you should talk about. This is why we're making this video. So, if it ever happens to our kids, any of these things, you know, they feel like they have someone to come talk to, and they can see like, hey, we've been through this, and just in case we're not here, you have this to know that you're not alone. In fact, this happens to quite a few people.
A lot. In fact, I know a lot of my friends that had miscarriages. I had no idea, you know. So I definitely was able to talk to a lot of people after I went through it, but it was hard. You know, I'd say one of the hardest things I've done. But we have this now.
Yes. Oh, so this is our piggy bank here that Courtney Wayne got. It says, "Baby Dunigan, we will always, we love you always, love mom and dad." So we have a piggy bank here for.
Should also preface it to say that our kids love piggy banks, so piggy banks are kind of our thing. So
yeah, they have like.
So our first baby needed a piggy bank too.
Yeah. So one of the things that, because you know when you're trying to be like strong and supportive for your wife, is like I'm not like the best with like my emotions. It's a work in progress. Yeah, it's a struggle. I grew up in a household. It's once again just that's why we're doing this. Like there's no talk. We didn't talk about anything. You just kind of like just choke it down. And so one of the things I did on a day-to-day basis, I had this farmer's company van. I just punched the roof every day. That's how I get my frustrations out. Just punch the roof of the van. So yeah.
I just cried a lot.
So we get past that. I don't know how long we waited. I don't know. Whatever the doctor said we had to wait.
3 months, maybe 2-3 months.
Yeah. And so now we go from, you know, like, oh, we're just, you know, doing things that you do to make babies. Like when we first got married, but now we know we want to have kids, so now we're actively trying to have kids, and that is hard. That is hard work.
Really hard.
And this is another thing. Like we were at a party recently, and I learned that some people are trying to have babies and stuff like that. A couple of other parties we went to, people trying to have babies, and like everyone's trying to be hush hush about it. And, I mean, I don't know why. I think, you know, the more support you have, I think it makes things easier when you know there's someone else that maybe gone through some things that you've gone through. Once again, we're in this old school mentality where you don't talk about anything. You just choke it down and you just have to figure it out on your own. That's not really helpful for anyone, I don't think. I learned by people helping me, I think, and getting through things. People help me.
Yeah, I mean, people who've experienced it, they can give you advice. They can, you know, at least relate to what you're going through. So it's nice to know that you're not alone.
Yeah. So trying to have a baby is not fun at all. I'm be honest with you. It's like now, instead of having sex for like enjoyment,
It's a chore.
it's a chore now. It's an immense amount of pressure. Like obviously everyone always draws a lot of compassion and stuff for like the moms, and I get it. Hey, they are carrying the load, but there's a lot of pressure on dads, like trying to like be ready there to get ready to go, and it's a lot. It's a lot of pressure, and so it's stressful, and you got that pressure. Sometimes you're not always ready to go, so it's hard. Or it's not. Yeah.
We're gonna cut that out.
No, we're not.
Dang it.
So, we went through trying to get pregnant. We use those ovulation strips, so we would know when like the egg was ready.
Oh my god, I had to pee on so many strips.
Yeah, you did so much peeing. Yeah. So, big day comes. We find after trying and trying and trying, finally we have this digital test where it says pregnant. Yeah,
pregnant.
yeah. It's just so there's no confusion. These line things. I'm like, I'll pay the extra money so I can know for sure if she's pregnant or not. So we get pregnant for the second time. Now, only thing at the back of my mind now is like we had a miscarriage the first time.
Yeah.
So I mean, let's talk about some of the struggles of like dealing with that, like the paranoia.
I think I was just super anxious. I had really high anxiety. I just stopped doing other things. Like I don't want to work out anymore. I don't know. Even though, I mean, there was nothing I did wrong the first time, but that's not how I felt. I felt like I did something wrong. So the whole pregnancy with Corrick, I was very nervous and very anxious, and I was worried the whole time that something was going to go wrong.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's one of the things that's why people should talk about. Is like, because guys, even though you didn't do anything wrong, you just feel at fault, but it's not your fault. And so like you said, you stop doing things you normally do, like even though you're supposed to still exercise and everything like that. We stopped doing that. I think we stopped having sex too because we were worried about that for a long time. Until like we were like sure locked down that we were secure. Like we just cut out a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want anything taking a chance at anything going wrong.
Yeah, it was hard. It was very hard. I just know that throughout the entire pregnancy, if I didn't feel him move enough, I mean, I can't tell you the number of times I went to the doctor just for them to check me out, just because I was like so anxious. I hadn't felt him move in a while, and they would go in and do a stress test, and I lived at the doctor's office.
I do remember that. And the secret thing they told her to do is to drink orange juice. Or apple juice. Mm-hmm. And that'll get the baby flipping around and moving.
I still had to go in because that made me feel better. But I mean, in all reality, I did not feel safe until we had him and I heard him crying. Like, that's it.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, the whole time.
Wow.
And he was late too, so it was extra time.
Lazy baby. Lazy baby. And he's not even a lazy one, which is weird. So speaking of having babies, let's talk about that. Like the first time, like giving birth. Let's start like, like
not knowing what I'm doing.
Yeah, let's start like how'd you know? Like, okay, what was the keys that that brought us into like the hospital?
Well, we were asleep, and I thought that my water broke in bed, and then it was like 3 o'clock in the morning. And so we went into the hospital, and they were like, "No, your water didn't break." I'm like, "Great, I just peed the bed. It's cool, no big deal." But throughout the day, like my back was hurting so bad. It felt like somebody was stabbing me with a screwdriver. Well, I've never had contractions before. Everyone said your stomach would get tight. It'll felt like a menstrual cramp, but like on steroids, and that wasn't what it felt like. It felt like somebody stabbed me in the back. And we went through that so many, basically all day long, until he Googled and was like, I think you're having back labor and back contractions. I was like, what is that? No one told me about this. I didn't know this was a thing. So yeah, so then we downloaded an app on our phone to time the contractions.
Yeah.
Because who wants to actually average that out and time it yourself? There's an app for everything. So he downloaded them, and I think it was like, I don't know, 5 o'clock maybe, 4:30 or 5 the very next evening. And I had labored all day long at home, and they were like 5 minutes apart.
Mm-hmm.
So we called the hospital, and they were like, come in, my water actually never fully broke with Coric. Just a little bit, but they had to break my water. But anyway, when I got there, I was in serious pain. Just don't talk to me or touch me, basically. But yeah, no, we checked in at like 5:15, 5:30, got into the room. And I was already at like a 5 or 6. And then an hour later, I was at a 10, and it was time to go.
Yeah, and so we go into this room, and it was a really nice room. The only problem was like one of the stirrups was broken, and so the nurse was like, "Well, you're gonna have to hold her foot or whatever." I was like, okay, whatever, that's fine, whatever." And then Courtney's like, "Well, I've never had a baby before. How do I do this?"
She also say I had an epidural like immediately when I got to the hospital. It was the very first thing they did because I was already dilated to a 5 or a 6. So they gave me that. So I was laying in the bed, and I couldn't feel anything, from my waist down, and I wasn't really sure. She's like, we'll do some practice pushes. I'm like, well, how do I know if I'm doing it right? Like, I can't really feel anything, so how do I know if it's actually pushing? She's like, we'll do some practice pushes. I was like, okay.
Yeah, so I'm like holding her leg, and she goes to push, and I hear the nurse goes, no, and I look over, and you just see all this black hair. I'm like, oh my God, he has so much hair. And then Courtney was like,
oh my God, you can see him already? What is happening? I'm not ready for this. I'm not ready. I don't want him to come out yet.
and so like so the nurse was like, stop. And so our doctor, she was on the lake.
Yeah, it was over the holiday, 4th of July holiday.
Yeah, and so like the I guess on-call docs coming in, like putting their gloves on or whatever, and literally she told Courtney to push. Corey's head popped out. She pushed again. The rest of Corey came out. It was like 2 pushes,
so fast.
done. And like after she gave birth, I was going around like, it was like, yeah. I was like hype in there. It was super excited. Like the nurses were laughing at me and stuff.
They were.
It was funny. So we spent some time in the hospital, and so then it's like you get comfortable with that because you got nurses coming looking after you, taking the baby to the nursery or whatever, and then they're like, all right, gotta take the baby home. And I was like, oh, didn't think about that. I hadn't even thought about that. And so we get him in his car seat or whatever, and we take the back roads home, and I'm driving so slow. I mean,
I sat in the back seat with him.
Yeah, so slow. And so like overly cautious. Obviously, it's the first kid, so yeah, everyone knows what that's like, I guess. Maybe not everyone drives like they're like grandmas on Sundays, but yeah, we were just driving super slow.
Yeah. And then we got home, it was like, what do we do now?
Now, I gotta say, like the first couple of weeks were probably like the worst weeks ever of having a kid. Because like, I don't know, like maybe like day 2 or 3, like we couldn't get him to stop crying.
There was one night where he just would not stop.
Yeah, it was all night long. And like, so Courtney's shift is like, she's like doing the day, that's her main shift, unless she's feeding. She's gonna be sleeping. So at night, I got him, I'm, with the baby. And so at this point, I've had, because anyone who knows me knows I can't sleep during the day, so I'm up all night, and I'm up all during the day, so I have no sleep, and I can't think rationally, and Cork is just wailing. I mean, not like, I'm like, just non-stop, like hours on end. And I'm like, oh my God, this is what it's always gonna be like. I'm never gonna sleep again. Yeah.
I felt that way.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for the, what was that? Shh.
Oh, the shh. We were shushing the hell out of Corey. Shh.
What was that called? The 5 S's or
Yeah.
something?
So, what are some of the struggles that we went through, being first-time parents?
Well, I mean, there were probably a lot.
Yeah, but the main ones stick out. I think for me, the biggest thing was changing diapers. For Courtney, I was just never fast enough. And so a lot of times she just kind of pushed me out of the way because A, I wasn't doing it right, and B, I was taking way too long. Disagree? No, go ahead.
I don't remember you changing many diapers at all. I know for a fact you didn't with Aubrey.
Oh yeah, Aubrey. Well, yeah, Aubrey. I probably changed maybe 15 diapers total.
No, like 5.
I was more than that.
No.
It was a couple times when she was gone, when you were gone, and I did it. No, but I just not changing girls' diapers. That was like my thing.
I remember Court peed on you.
Yeah, he did do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta go fast.
Yeah.
I don't know. With Corrick, I had a lot of struggles with breastfeeding. I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, you try and you have the little lactation consultant or coaches or whoever telling you what to do and trying to help you. But I don't think my milk ever really came in with him. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I would pump until I was crying because it hurt so bad and there just was nothing there. So, needless to say, he got formula, which was fine. But at the same time, I kind of felt like I was failing, like I didn't know what to do or how to fix it or why he wouldn't latch on to me. So that was a struggle for me.
Yeah, and so the main thing is like, don't feel like it's something that you're doing. I mean, he just wouldn't take it all. And so at the end of the day, the biggest, and like you said, like you weren't really producing milk. So it don't feel like it's not you. You're not a failure at all. Just do what you can and make sure the baby is taken care of.
Yeah, fed is best.
Yeah, exactly.
I wanted to breastfeed with him. I just wasn't able to. But I think that's why I was so determined with Aubrey.
Yeah, Aubrey had that tit in her mouth.
Really?
All the time. What? She did. I mean, then like Courtney was producing milk then. I mean, we had stockpiles of milk. Just an ungodly amount. Mm-hmm. All right, so that was just a little bit about some of the struggles of being first-time parents and stuff. But now we're gonna move in because definitely want to give Aubrey some spotlight time. And here we go again. We waited enough time. We're like, okay, we want to get these babies knocked out, right next to each other. So, we'll have plenty of time on the back end to relax and, they can transition, together and have close relationships. And so here we go again. This trying to have babies is that's like the worst period of that. It's just like having to do, it's not doing it for enjoyment. I mean, there's gonna be some joy when the baby gets here, but it's not like the spontaneousness. There's not the like, it was just different trying to have a baby than.
You're on a mission. You're doing it for a purpose.
Yeah. I mean, you're doing it for a purpose wise, but for this, it's like an actual purpose.
Yeah. Peeing on more strips.
Peeing on more strips, yep. And then same thing. It was, I think the second time though, we were less nervous about a lot of things.
Yeah. I definitely didn't feel as paranoid the second time as I did with Corrick.
Yeah, I think you did. I did think you did more exercise, and then we did more stuff.
I had to because I had passed my glucose test, so I had to like prick my finger when I was pregnant with her.
Oh yeah, that was because that could develop into like gestational diabetes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I gained much less weight with Aubrey.
Yeah, it's that whole second child syndrome, that second child thing that they do, where like you're kind of a little bit more like
I think you're a little more relaxed.
More relaxed with
Because
the
you know
second
what
kid.
to expect. I mean, you know kind of what you went through the first time, and you kind of have a gauge on, I don't know, what it's going to be like. So I think it's a little bit less pressure.
So yeah, but Aubrey, same thing, baby. We went there. In fact, actually, did you?
My water broke at work. With
Yeah.
Aubrey. Yeah, Vanessa and I were walking upstairs on the walking trail, and I thought I peed my pants, and I was like, "Oh, I need to go to the bathroom." She was also pregnant, and she's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I think so. It's fine. I was just gonna go to the bathroom," and I wasn't sure because last time they said my water didn't break, so I just went back down to my desk, started working again, called Ricky, and said, "I don't know, it might have broken," and he's panicking. "You need to call the hospital."
Yeah.
And so I did. I called them. They're like, "Well, we won't know unless you come in and we check you." And so I was like, "Okay, well, I'll just come in at lunch. I'll finish up what I need to do here at work." Because I wasn't having contractions. I mean, I didn't think I was in active labor. I wasn't having any pains or anything. So I waited until lunch. So I just worked and went up there, met Ricky at lunch at the hospital, and they checked me. And
No, I wasn't there. I didn't meet you. No, you went to go check in, and they're like, "You should have been here," and they went ahead and moved you because you barely had time to get the epidural.
well, yeah. So when we got there, it was like, I don't know, like 12:30 when I got there and checked in. And
you didn't
Well, I wasn't
call me.
checked in because she said, "I'll check you," and she's like, "Oh yeah, your water did break," and I was like, "Okay, well, I mean, I'm not having any contractions though, like." So, like, what happens next? Because, I didn't even tell work, like, I need to go get my laptop. I just left at work, She's like, "Oh, no, you can't leave. You have to stay here." Because I was at, like, a 6.
And so they take her back to the room,
Yeah.
and she calls you saying, "Hey, they saying you need to get up here if you want to see the baby." And I was like, "What?" And so I'm like breaking all kinds of laws. I'm like going way too fast trying to get to this hospital to meet my daughter. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Don't break laws.
Yeah.
This is for babies.
But I did get an epidural with her, but half of it didn't take. It was only at one half of my body.
Yeah, because, immediately I was ready to go.
Yeah, the same thing as with work though. Like I didn't labor with her though, like I did. Like they gave me the epidural, and then, half of it worked, and I started feeling some contractions. And anyway, they came and checked me again, and when she was checking me, my water broke, went everywhere. That was just like you imagine in movies. It was like a river. It's what, even the nurse was like, "Oh wow, you got a river going on here." It's like, what? That's uncomfortable. But anyway, but yeah, it was the same with her.
And same thing, like it was like Courtney was made to have babies because 2 pushes again, Aubrey came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, but bringing Aubrey home, I took the highway home. We were like, man, she'll be fine. Aubrey was like, she was super chill. She was like super chill. I think maybe Cork was maybe not as chill because we weren't chill.
Probably.
I think
You
that's
could feel
what it was.
our anxiety, probably.
So we're gonna close out with obviously you guys know that we have 2 babies. Hopefully if you're watching this in the future, we still only have 2 babies. Oh man. Okay, so we want to talk about why we don't have more babies than we have than the 2. I'm a big part of, I'm on a team called Team Hashtag Forget Babies. Not really, I like other people's babies, but I'm just not trying to do that. But all seriousness though, reason why we have more babies is like, Courtney had she had the glucose thing, and I was like, gosh, I don't want her to I was like kind of afraid of her like having like diabetes or something like that. Just just like scary thoughts. I was like, I don't want her to go through that and having some kind of complications and stuff like that. That was like the initial thing for me. I know Courtney wanted to have more kids.
I did want to have more kids.
Yeah.
He did not want to have more kids. I think it was the diapers. You didn't want to change diapers.
No, I just felt like we were older, and I was like, if we had got started, like if we had met earlier, we might have like 4 kids. But I just thought about it. I was like, I didn't want to be old, like too old to like still enjoy life after the kids left the house. I want to still be able to enjoy us, like that second part of life, like just being like young enough. So I was like, I don't know, we'll be like young 50s when our kids allegedly leave the house or whatever. And so I wanted to make sure I left some time to spend with her. And honestly, for me, it was, I'm a big proponent on like taking care of yourself first, because I don't think if you don't love yourself, you don't provide that time for yourself, you can't give that time to anyone else. And I felt like any more than 3 people that I had to give my attention to, I felt like someone would lose in there. I know that's not true, but for me mentally, that's where I was at. I was like, I gotta give a certain amount of time to Courtney, and then I gotta give some to Cork and Aubrey, and then I thought thinking about activities. Like I gotta do this activity over here, then I have to do this activity. Now that they're doing activities, oh, having 3 kids, you guys out there who got more than 2 kids, wow. You know, they should have a parade for you guys every year, because that's amazing. Hats off to you if I had one. What about you as far as like, you know, when you finally decided that you didn't want to have any more kids?
Well, I think we didn't agree. You didn't want any more, and I did, but you know, that's not enough reason for me to have kids, because if we're not both on the same page, it's not a good start. So I just accepted the fact that I wasn't going to have any more. And then, you know, Aubrey was out of diapers and potty trained, and it was like, oh, like now they make their own breakfast and they can, you know, get their own snacks, and they're pretty self-sufficient at this point. So, you know, it'd be hard to go back.
Yeah, and one of the things you miss out on is like when you first have kids, like your friends transition, they start doing things that you can't do anymore because someone has to stay with the kid. Especially that first kid, you don't want to let that kid out of your sight.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a real struggle with doing that. I don't regret not having more kids. I'm happy as it is.
No. I love the 2 we have, and we're blessed with them, and you know, it's fine.
Yeah. So that's all we got. Thanks guys for checking us out. Like I said, we're making more videos more frequently. Get back onto it because we want to make sure we have something for the kids later in life. And you know, I learn a lot when we do these about each other and about our lives, and especially like things I thought they transpired, but they really didn't go that way. So yeah, well, thanks guys. We'll see you later.
Bye guys.